going crazy.
All right, welcome to the Shield Football Podcast. Preseason week 1 in the books. We're going to get into it, deep dive into a lot of subjects, a lot of topics. But overall, I felt that I was excited to watch it. How'd you feel about it, DC, starting out?
I watched a lot of the highlights, and I was excited to see what these future quarterbacks look like.
Yeah.
With live bullets. Granted they was playing against some of the backups, but some of them looked okay for what they're doing. Because when I look at this, I want you to be good. You can't be bad in preseason. That tells me a whole lot about you. At least be good, even though you playing second and third streamers. You got to be good. You cannot go out there and wet the bed against these guys, and that tells you a whole lot. So it looks like some of them are already on their way.
All right, definitely. Well, it's Jerron hosting, DC co-hosting. We got Fredo and Steven behind the scenes on the ones and twos. We're going to jump right into this. Let's get into the news and notes. Hassan Reddick. Already drama in New Jersey, New York with the Jets. He requested a trade already. Yeah. Season hasn't started. He hasn't shown up. He's out there chilling out. His trade request is after not coming to another contract extension. How do you feel about Mr. Reddick?
I mean, it wouldn't be another NFL season without the Jets being in the headlines. But the Jets, they get what they deserve. They knew the guy came there wanting the contract. So what are you waiting on? You traded for him because Philly didn't want to give him another deal,
right?
And you don't want to give him a deal or whatever he wants. I think he's in his 30s, I think. So I don't know how much he asking for, but I think he's only getting like 14 or something like that, if that. And all these other rush-ins are getting way on up there, maybe around 20, most of them. So he wants to get paid like that, but I don't see the Jets doing it. It's going to be tough, man.
And this is after, in my opinion, a down year for him.
Yeah.
The year before is when he should have really went in and tried to get the big money. I hope he's not trying to get Micah Parsons money. I hope he's not trying to get he's not Bosa.
Nope.
You are a specialty rush in.
Yep.
How much do you want, my guy?
Yeah.
And the funny part, the Jets came out quick with a statement. A statement from Joe Douglas. We informed Hassan that we will not trade him. That is, he is expected to be here with his teammates, and that he will continue to be fined per the CBA if he does not report.
Oof.
Since the trade discussions back in March, we have been clear, direct, and consistent with our position. Our focus remain on the guys we have here as we prepare for the regular season. And what do you remember what the compensation they gave up? Well, it was like a third or fourth.
It may have been.
That's an expensive pick for somebody who does not want to play for your team. We'll see. It's really kind of funny. Just Philly knew what was going on, and they stole a pick.
Yeah, Philly still out there fleecing people, boy.
Right, and I hate it. I hate every minute of it. Moving on to Chiefs. Marquise Hollywood Brown had a injury in the first preseason game after one snap. Yeah. He was targeted. He was dropped on his shoulder, and it is that's a big old word. That it is a sternoclavicular joint dislocation. Timetable for return is 4 weeks. So Patrick Mahomes, one of his new toys, already out.
But the good news, I think he said he's not going to need surgery.
Okay.
So that's a good thing for him, and I think. And they said the likely of that happening again is really slim to none. It's just one of those freak accidents the way this happened. So
Okay.
he should be good once he gets back out there. He should be in the clear. He can still run, so he'll be fine.
It's time for Xavier Worthy,
Yep.
Rasheed Rice to step up. And they'll be all right.
Yeah.
Let's say he misses 2 weeks. Come on, it's Patrick Mahomes. He gonna make something shake. He gonna make something work. Next news, I gotta talk about Dallas, man. Earlier this week, during the interview, Jerry Jones came out and he says that signing CeeDee Lamb isn't urgent. It's not. There's no urgency in actually getting him into the building, which pissed off a lot of people. Cowboys fans, even CD put LOL by the. He retweeted with LOL saying he heard what you said and it's laughable. Basically, that you would say that it's not urgent to get me back. See, CD knows what he means to the team, and he's got a lot of leverage, and it's just Jerry talking.
Yeah.
He just has to. His ego won't let him not be in the camera, and honestly, the comments were taken out of context.
Right.
Because in reality, what he really meant was it's not urgent. We don't need to see him right now, because the only thing he can do in training camp is get hurt. That's really what he was trying to say. But he does all his Jerry-isms, and he came out later to try to clarify, saying it's not anything to do with his contract. It's basically what I just said. It's basically we don't need to see what he can do because we know he's a monster.
Right.
He's been working out with Dak, so we know what it is, but they have to get this done. It's ridiculous.
It really is, man. You know you're gonna pay the guy.
Yes.
You're just drawing extra attention to the team.
Yes.
Go ahead and pay the man. He gonna get paid. So quit playing these games. I guess, man, Jerry, he loves it, man. He loves that attention to be in that spotlight like that. But man, sometimes you can tick some of these guys off, man. And like you say, the whole fan base is just really upset about it because you know what the guy did. You know he's legit. This should be an easy sign. Get that man $32 million and let's keep moving. But Jerry, he wants to drag his feet, man.
It's headlines for him. It's the world looking at his team. It's all that kind of stuff, and it gets old. It really gets old. It's like, come on, why can't we just sign somebody regularly? I don't know why he. Look, he's a billionaire off of football, so he's a smart man. Maybe he's just the perfect. What are they calling it? Circus carnival barker or whatever. It gets old. I can't talk to my friends about the team.
Yeah.
I just be like, I don't know what we doing at running back.
Yeah.
What are we doing at wide receiver? Quarterback. What the hell is happening? So
it's crazy. You hit the nail on the head when you said he's a billionaire from football.
Yeah.
See, the problem with Jerry, even with the whole Dak situation, no matter what happened, his money ain't gonna change. And that's the problem, because that stadium is going to fill up every Sunday, regardless of who quarterback or whatever. So he really don't give a damn. His pockets ain't going to hurt. If Dak leave, the only money he going to miss is selling number 4 jerseys. That's it. Other than that, everything else is going to stay the same, you know. Until you can find a way, which will never happen, to hit him in his pockets, it ain't going to change.
Yeah.
And what sucks about the Cowboys is that even if he passed away, you still got the same people running the team.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
His son just steps up.
Yeah, his son just steps up and he does the same thing more than likely.
That's what everybody's saying.
It's going to be rough.
Just wait till Jerry dies. I'm like, man, first of all, that's kind of morbid, but
yeah.
It is what it is. I think, honestly, this week sometime he gets signed.
Yeah.
Between now and Friday, he's got to get signed. They're too close. He's too important, and he's got to ramp up.
Yeah, right.
I don't want him to come into week 1 against Cleveland and think and try to be Superman and tear all this shit up. So we'll see. I predict that he gets signed this week. And the last thing that I have under notes, let me know if you saw anything. Jonathan Taylor, he was the first high-profile player to wear the Guardian protective hats,
Yes.
the protective caps during a game.
Yes.
And he was one of a few. I believe James Daniels for the Steelers wore it. I believe the other coach, running back Xavier Scott, and a couple other people actually wore it during the preseason game. Did you get a chance to see what it looked?
But the thing about it, you really couldn't tell because when you see them in practice, it looked like these little bumps all over the head.
Yeah.
But they put like a cover over it,
Yeah.
like a sleeve over it, so it looks flat. You can't see all that, but from a distance, you really hardly couldn't tell when I seen it. But then when they zoom in, you can tell his is a little thicker than everybody else. But
Yes.
he wore it.
He
damn sure wore it.
what was that movie? It was like a Star Wars parody where Darth Vader had that big old head. That's what he looked like. Space. There you go. Appreciate it, Fred. That's what he looked like. Spaceballs, like around. Like they showed the huddle, and everybody has a regular helmet on, and he's just got this fat head. But I keep saying that's the future.
Yep.
That is the future of the NFL. Everybody's gonna be wearing that junk. And what surprised me about it is reading an article on it. They say that it only helps about 10%.
What?
Like it reduces the force 10%. But of course that's double if two people are wearing it.
Right.
But 10, I would have thought it would have been closer to 50% that it protects your head better.
You know, I thought about that. There was a couple of squads this summer they practicing and people swung helmets at each other.
Yeah.
But I had to stop and think they got their padding on it now.
Yeah.
But even though with that, if you swing like I think DK did it again. DK Metcalf swung it at one of his teammates.
Dude's anger issues
Yeah.
is crazy.
And I definitely seen one in college. He made contact with his teammate.
Yeah, now I saw that.
He made contact.
I saw that. That was he got to get kicked off the
Yeah,
team
he
unless
can't
he
be on
a 5-star
Yeah, he got to go.
big dog. He got to get kicked
He
off the
gotta go.
team. That is ridiculous. Anything else in news and notes you see?
No, that's it, man.
We can get to some of these preseason performances. We're not going to go through every game because it's preseason. Like,
Right.
why would we go do that? Question: did you play any underdog or
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm taking the overs on these quarterbacks. These like the guy from man, I can't remember in Chicago. One of the Chicago quarterbacks.
Oh, okay.
I took the under on the bill, which that worked out. yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, that's
You
real.
know, you just gotta stop and think. You know, how much you think they're gonna play because a lot of these guys they ain't gonna be in that long at all.
Okay. I was wondering all week. I was like, I wonder is Kraft actually playing these games? That's crazy to me. We're gonna go through some of these debuts from these rookies and these new quarterbacks with your team. First one I want to start off with is Caleb Williams. He went 4 for 7, 95 yards, one rush for 13 yards. How do you think he looked in his first live action with?
Well, yeah, he looked like he was on schedule.
Okay.
I wasn't really expecting that. I was expecting there to be a lot of off-schedule stuff, but he did look on schedule. He made some really nice plays. He didn't look to run as often that I had a feeling he would. So I seen him. He stepped up in the pocket and made some throws. He made the right throws from the highlights I was looking at. So, yeah, I'm glad to see that because I had no idea that's the way it was going to look like. I thought it was going to look totally different than the way it did. But it does help with, some of the weapons he's got.
Yeah.
It does help. Yeah. So he should be okay going forward, man. I just don't trust the team. I
Right.
think he's going to be okay, but I problem is the team, the OC and the head coaches.
Yeah, the head coach is the one that kind of scares me. But like for anybody who's watching, listening, we're not expecting them to come out and have the greatest performance, or we just want to see like little things that give you a glimpse into the future. It's Warren Sharp Sharp Football on Twitter. Caleb Williams, 9.9 air yards per attempt with a 63% success rate. He both drives he had were scoring drives, so that's all you wanted to see.
That's it.
That's really 71 yards per drive. That's all you want to see. That's a good.
That's it.
That's a good start. Watching the game, I liked how he looked early. It was he improv well.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
He was the screen pass to Swift that went for a big game.
Mm-hmm.
The way he threw that, the way he got rid of the ball, I kind of see what people are talking about. Him in the future. I think this is what everybody thought Bryce Young was going to be.
Yes.
Of course, they're not on the same level, but the way they talked about Bryce Young being like the Steph Curry of quarterbacks, this is what Caleb is eventually going to get to. He wasn't perfect, but he looked good. I'll give him a A for his first look.
Yeah, as long as they didn't mess it up. And back to that coaching situation, man. And Shane Waldron, I don't know why the Bears hired him as the OC. Roman Duze. Shane Waldron, he got to get out this two tight end stuff. You got these receivers, get out of that. Just put either Gerald Everett or Cole Kmet out there and run these three receivers, man. There's no reason for you to do that. And he did the same thing last year in Seattle with Jackson Smith and Jigba. Wouldn't hardly put him on the field. You know the kid is talented, but he just kept running them two tight ends with DK and Lockett. And he's doing the same thing already in Chicago. Keenan Allen, I don't think he came off the field.
No.
he played 100% of the snap with Caleb, I think. And then, but Roman Duze, he got to sit out for two tight end sets, three tight end sets. He got to get away from that, man. You got to.
They had a snap count of what everybody did for them, but
they got to get away, get out of that.
If he's the same cat who is calling for Seattle, Roma Dunze is not going to do nothing this year. It's going to be a wasted effort. He's just going to go run routes, win sprints. The next quarterback I want to hit, let's talk about Jaden. Jaden Daniels was the second quarterback taken. In his debut, he went 2 of 3, 45 yards with one rush of 3 yards, which was a touchdown in the red zone for the Commanders. What did you see from? It's small sample, but what did you see?
I guess I feel the same way the coaches did. That was a hell of a pass.
Yes.
He dropped it right in there when nobody could get it but the receiver, man.
Yes.
And I wasn't expecting that. But yeah, it looked nice, and they showcased him a couple of plays and pulled him out, which they should have done. So he looked like he's going to be okay.
That pass terrified me.
Yeah.
It looked like LSU. It looked too easy. That was his specialty at LSU though. The slot fades and the fade balls. If he can hit that continuously in the league while using his legs to score touchdowns,
It's going to be tough.
the Commanders going to be tough in a little bit. They are going to be scary. The first throw had me feeling pretty good. The screen pass he missed, I was like, yeah, he ain't ready. And then he hit that one, and I was like, buddy. I sat back and said, nope, he's going to be a problem if he keeps developing. Thinking as a Cowboys fan, you got to hit this dude.
You better.
You got to hit him because he's slight. Yeah. And when he ran that read option, he looked like Lamar. He looked like Lamar, and that was scared. You're
going to have to be careful with him because if you get too much press on him, he's gone.
Oh, yeah.
He is gone, man. I've seen him run off with some guys at LSU, but he can go.
Yeah. Next quarterback we're going to hit, Drake May, 2 of 3, 19 yards. He also, his backup, Joe Milton, I don't have his numbers, but he showed pretty well. Like, to me, he played better than Drake, which has been a report in camp that Joe Milton was performing better. What do you think of both? You can start with Drake.
I didn't see much of Drake, but I did watch Melton highlights, and he still got to work on some accuracy things, but his arm is strong. He got a cannon for an arm, and
Yes.
and like he don't mind taking off with it either. But I'm sure they're gonna end up giving it to Drake May just because of the draft capital. But there's gonna be pressure on him from here on out. But so I want to see them both again this week and see what they look like. I hope they split the reps up between those two with the first teamers.
Yeah, I agree. And Joe Milton had the play of the preseason, that scramble.
Yes.
It was only for 12, 13 yards,
Yeah.
but he kept it alive for 15 seconds almost. That was incredible. That was a really nice play. Drake he looked deer in the headlights a couple times. He looked like this is big boy action, and he just his stock is a little down.
Yeah.
The reports in camp are not great.
Yeah.
He's going to take years. If they needed a quarterback to play right now, it'll probably be Joe Milton.
Right.
There's things you can steal yards with a quarterback like that.
Yeah. Okay.
But of course they're going against two levels of competition. I guess I don't know the snap counts, but Drake didn't look too great in his debut. Joe Milton, 4 of 6, 76 yards, 1 touchdown, 134.7 passer rating. Of course, it's preseason, but what more do you?
Like I say,
what more can you?
I want you
ask
to look good in preseason.
Right.
Yeah.
for? Michael Penix.
Yeah.
Michael Penix went 9 for 16, 104 yards. This was a much debated pick.
Yep.
Actually, it may not have been debated. I think we all just made fun of Atlanta.
Mm-hmm. Like they should have been.
Michael Penix, what do you think of how he played his first debut?
His deep ball looked just like it did in college. It still looked good, man. His ball placement looked good. So they got themselves a quarterback. They just messed it up in the draft when they had kept Cousins. They should have went another route. Let this guy go and play because I think he'll be ready, especially with the weapons he already got. You know, with Kyle Pitts, Drake London, and Bijan, he'd fit right in with that, man. So it sucks that he got to sit on the bench, but Atlanta Falcons fans, I wouldn't be surprised, man, if Kirk Cousins starts stumbling a little bit. The natives are going to get restless. I know how the fans feel about him in Atlanta. They're going to want it. They're going to want it. And the owner, they're going to have to sit tight to make sure there's no rift going on because they got 3 tough games coming out. They play the Chiefs, the Steelers, and somebody else the first 3 games, and they could come out 0-3. I can't remember what it was, but they got a really tough schedule coming out the gate. If they stumble like that, then people are going to be clamoring for him, and it's going to be a problem for long. So he's got to at least win one of those games coming out of the gate because Chocolate City going to turn on him.
Yeah, yeah. Michael Penix looked very poised. Like he was an older quarterback prospect already, but he looked like this isn't his first rodeo. It looked like how Jordan Love looked those times where he was on the bench. Like you knew he was gonna eventually take over. And like you said, he was accurate. He was poised. His footwork was pretty good. I just liked what I saw from him. He had a couple misses that were bad, but he didn't throw them in the line of danger. They were misses. They were just misses. But I can't wait to see what he does coming up this week. Next 2, J.J. McCarthy. We'll start with him. J.J. McCarthy was 11 of 17, 88 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, 2 carries for 18 yards. I can start with this. I was very impressed by what he did. His footwork, the way he went through his reads, you can tell he had a real college program that he came from, like that emphasized the quarterback making the right reads, because he looked like he was prepared he had that interception, which was a bad decision, but that's his first live action in the NFL. So I was okay that he got his feet wet. But when and he's more athletic than I thought.
Yeah.
He ran pretty well. So JJ McCarthy, I would give him like a B plus for that effort. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm like you. He looked a lot better than I thought he would. He looked the part. Mm-hmm. He definitely did. Some of the throws he made, I didn't think he would be able to make them, but he did. So I'm giving him about maybe 2-3 weeks into the season, he may have a job. You know, just depending on how the guy ahead of him come out. But it may not be long. It may not be long at all before he's starting for him.
Darnold didn't look bad either.
Right.
But it's always more exciting to get the cat who's new.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Darnold is gonna get the run because of his experience this year.
Right.
I think this year, but after that, J.J. McCarthy just keep doing what he's doing, and he's gonna be better. Again, we're not blowing too much smoke. It's week 1 of the preseason. They got 2 more games, and I still want to find out what they got in them. Bo Nix, last quarterback out of the rookies I want to talk about. He went 15 of 21, 125 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 carries for 17 yards, and 4 scoring drives.
Yes.
2 touchdown drives, 2 field goal drives. And Schefter said he's scheduled to start the next preseason game. Yeah. So Sean Payton evidently liked what he saw from Bo Nix. And the funny part is he looked like he had a little Taysom Hill in him. when he moved around, I'm sure Sean Payton loved that big athletic white dude. Oh yeah, that's what Sean Payton's type.
He did, man. And Sean Payton, he called a perfect game for him.
Yeah.
He kept that's Sean Payton's offense. That little dink and duck, and the guy made all the throws. There was a couple of back shoulders that he made it.
Yeah.
He's really impressive, man. So he is QB1. They might as well go ahead and just all them other guys. He's the guy. You got to look for a backup now because he's going to be your guy going forward.
Yeah. It did seem like he caught a real game for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like he put in real plays that they're going to be running for this dude just to see what he's got.
Yes.
And he for his effort also. 4 scoring drives. I mean, in preseason, that's all you can ask for.
He's gonna be better than a lot of people think. I think going forward because Sean Payton's he's gonna keep his thumb on him. Mm-hmm. They just got to find a receiver. They got a bunch of NBA players for receivers.
Yes.
All them 6'3", 6'4" out there.
Yes.
They need to find that guy that can stretch the field also.
Mims is the guy.
We hope that's the guy that come through Mims, yeah.
And you said he already got hurt.
Mm.
What do you think about the uniforms?
Man, the first time I seen them, I'm like, man, that's ugly. Cause we talked about it on the show, I think.
We definitely.
But then when I actually seen them out there playing, they showed a couple of them. I think they ain't as bad as I thought they were. They're not as bad as I thought they were.
I was too harsh on them. I killed them. I said I want to see the home ones though. That because they're all white with the accents. It's easy to do. It's easy to pull off. Yeah. I want to see when it's all big orange, like orange looking like University of Virginia. I really want to see what that looks like, but I bashed them too much. I gotta say the away ones look pretty okay. Pretty okay. So we're through with the rookies. Now we got to go to new quarterback in a new place, new face in a new place. Start out with Justin Fields. Justin Fields was 5 for 6, 67 yards, 11.2 average. He had a rating of 113.2 in limited time, long of 20. But did you see a marketable improvement in his poise and the way he went through those 6 attempts?
I seen Arthur Smith fingerprints all over this one too. for sure. See, everything was either in a shotgun or a quick release. There was no seven-step drop stuff like he was doing over there. So Arthur Smith, I can tell he's already got it in his mind what he needs to do with this kid, and that's good. Keep it close to the vest. You ain't got to drop him back to 7-step, man. Just put him in the shotgun, let him see what's going on. What I'd like to see him do is more motion. That way, it really helps him out as far as reading the defense, and he'll be okay. But the couple of fumbles with the snaps, they got to work on that for sure. But you can tell Arthur Smith is calling his game for Justin Fields also.
Yeah, it was interesting. Like you said, the fumble snaps, the Texans were on them boys. Like the Steelers defense, the Steelers O-line, they didn't show well in that game. Daniil Hunter with the strip sack, he just flung the dude around. He went against a rookie right tackle, and I think he even got hurt. So they're even thinner at O-line now, which even...
Was that for Shanu?
Yeah.
The rookie?
Fashanu, yeah. He got hurt, and there's no way I want to put Russell Wilson behind that line. So you might as well go with Justin Fields. But processing is always going to be his thing. He held the ball. I saw reports that he actually held an average amount of time. But if you think about how quickly he got the ball out on those completions compared to when he got the sacks and the hits.
Like night and day, ain't it?
Yeah, it's night and day. It evens out. Because when he's not getting rid of it quick, he was getting hit in his back. So we'll monitor Justin Fields also. See how that goes. Now, I got to talk about my guy, number 19 for the Dallas Cowboys, Mr. Trey Lance. Were you able to see in any of his attempts?
Oh, yeah. He was up and down. Up and down. I guess that's what you could expect for a guy who really hadn't played in I don't know how long. So, and that's to be expected. But he's still got a lot of stuff I think he got to work on for sure. Some of his passes, I was wondering why you did that.
Yes.
I was like, really, you just threw that ball and you seen that guy right there? So he still got some of that stuff in him to work on. So I guess I don't know what's gonna happen, man. I really don't with him.
So the thing that worried me is he got a full game. Cooper Rush got one drive in, went straight down the field goal. That's fine. Get Cooper out of there. We want to see Trey Lance. The whole world wants to see Trey Lance. So he got a damn near full game in, 41 attempts. That's a lot of GD attempts. He went 25-41. He had 188 yards on 41 attempts. He had 6 carries for 44 yards, which are the bright spot. The drives he led were 52-yard field goal drive, 45-yard field fourth down on the goal line almost, which I don't know why they threw that kind of pass, but he went 23 yards, 29 yards, field fourth down, 60 yards with a field goal, and his last drive was -1 yards. If I want to evaluate what I saw with Trey Lance, I would say it's worrisome, and he was just erratic. To me, his processing is subpar, and he always seems like he seems like the clock in his head is going so quickly. Like even when he has a completed pass, his feet are so jittery. He's looking around him, and then he throws a strike or he air mails it or sells it. It's just the clock in his head is going so quick, and I don't know how to fix that. If you've been playing football this long in the NFL, even if it's preseason or training camp, there was little improvement. The thing I can say is if you game plan around him, maybe he could do some more, because of course they were just calling plays. Like, hey, I got this play, throw it in. If you game plan around his feet or doing the throws he can do well, maybe he can be something. He was just so erratic. His misses were bad misses. He threw into tight coverage. That was part of the clock.
Yeah.
Because there's one play that I remember. He was looking downfield, and the back ran a lazy, like, flat route, and he was covered. And he threw it to him, and, of course, the back couldn't catch the ball. But it was just like, he was like, nothing, all right, dump it down to somebody who's not open.
Yeah.
I did like to see him use his feet. He's gonna get a lot of work. Yes. He got a full game this time. Next game's gonna be his, and maybe even the third game. Yeah. So we will get a full 3-game sample of what Trey Lance can do. I would give him a C-.
Yeah.
Because he didn't do all bad stuff.
Right.
It's just your good stuff wasn't enough to build momentum into. You
said the right word, erratic.
Yes,
that's what
he was erratic.
Very.
And I think he's going to have a tough time scoring touchdowns. If it's not with his legs, when it gets in that red area where the windows close quickly, he has real issues with closing windows, and it is worrisome to start out.
Yeah. And it just, the thing is, man, that when the 49ers drafted him that high, people were expecting at some point the light's going to come on and he's going to be good. But we did. They're 5 years into it and he still ain't that. So I guess he just overdrafted for sure.
And the history of that draft is so weird because that was COVID season, and nobody got to saw anybody. That shows like how much the pre-draft process is important, because I don't think he would have been a first-round pick.
Right.
He would have been second. He would have been around where your quarterback.
Right. Especially the way the school he came from.
Right.
Yeah.
He just ended up, like you said, being overdrafted. That's all we got for the quarterback debuts. Anything like stick out to you before we get into the 5 takeaways? Like with any veteran quarterbacks coming?
No.
Like it was good to see Joe.
Yeah.
Burrow, but
other
than that, we can move on. So
before we go out, since we're speaking about quarterbacks, and I was just looking over some things over some trends in the NFL and how they correlate to winning. I noticed that the quarterbacks whose head coach called the plays, offensive plays, their team seems to be more successful. Every team in the NFC that made the playoffs, except for the Lions,
right,
the head coach is the OC.
Right.
So you're going to have the 49ers, the Cowboys, Philadelphia, the Rams, and Green Bay.
Packers, right.
Yeah, all those guys, their head coach is also the offensive coordinator. And it seems to correlate to when you get that continuity, when you get to keep these two guys together for a long period of time, great things will happen. That's why I don't feel bad for Bo Nix, because I feel like Sean Payton's going to put him.
Okay, I like that.
Anthony Richardson, he's going to be on the come up.
Right.
And, of course, we see that in Kansas City.
Yeah,
You've been doing it for years.
The best to ever do it.
Even in Cleveland, they went through 5 quarterbacks, but their head coach is the OC, and it still got in there. And I think in Miami.
Yeah.
So I think there's something to it that it's good to have your head coach to be an OC. See, the problem is I'm worried about Houston. So when this guy leaves, the OC, he takes a head coaching job somewhere else.
Yeah.
What is it going to look like?
What's it? Yeah.
Because I know I forgot the guy's name in waiting, but you can stand by that dude all year long and watch him call play, but you can't do it. See Eric Bieniemy. Okay.
Yes.
See what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it don't always translate because you ain't in that guy's head. The same thing may happen in Detroit. They're gonna be very potent on offense, but if the OC leaves
Ben Johnson
and
if he
takes a
goes,
job somewhere
yeah.
else, I want to see what it looks like, man. Because for some reason, the teams with the head coach as the OC, there's something there, man. They seem to be really, really, really good year in and year out.
Just off the top of my head, that's probably around 70% of the playoff teams.
Yeah, right.
That they actually have their head coach. Yeah,
yeah.
In the Super Bowl, both of those.
Yeah.
The only thing I will push back, they got to be geniuses. they because the two head coaches in the Super Bowl, offensive geniuses. I don't feel like my coach is an offensive genius, even though he's a really good offensive play caller. I think McCarthy is a good, but not the genius.
Right.
The next, like you said, when Ben Johnson goes and gets somewhere, Shane Steichen is a good. Yeah, that's.
And it would have been the Bengals would have been in there because their head coach calls plays.
Right.
And that's why I'm feeling really good actually this year about Bryce Young with Dave Canales coming there. I'm telling you because he's responsible for Geno Smith 2 years ago. He was the OC.
Right.
He was responsible for Baker Mayfield last year. He was the OC. So now he gets to go in to this Carolina Panther team and put his fingerprints on it. So I'm really looking forward to see what Bryce Young looks like this year. They went out and spent damn near $100 million on 2 guards to keep the pressure up out of his face. So I really want to see what Dave Canales looks like, man.
I don't remember. Did Bryce play at all?
I don't remember.
I don't remember seeing anything about him.
I don't think he did. I don't think he did at all.
Okay.
But yeah, that's something to pay attention to going forward.
That's a real good observation. What I would like to do is to see what their final records are. Like of all the coaches who call plays, what's your record versus the defensive coaches who are like the Mikos and the Mayo,
right?
Gerard Mayo of the NFL. That's a good discussion.
And the only outlier, for some reason, is that Pittsburgh. They still keep getting in the mix. Some kind of way they still in the mix every year.
They got the rabbit foot.
Yeah, they got it, man. So yeah, I was thinking about this. I said, man, all these guys with these head coaches that are OCs, they doing pretty good with these quarterbacks. They get time with them.
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking about.
That was good.
In Minnesota.
Yes.
He's gonna be calling plays for J.J. McCarthy. So we'll take a look at that, see how that turns out.
And he's a really good.
Yep.
Really good play caller.
We're gonna see how that one turns out.
Yeah, look what they did without Justin Jefferson and all. Yeah. Let's go to our 5 takeaways from preseason week 1. I can start. I can go through all 5 of mine if you want.
Yeah, that's fine. You can go ahead and go.
Okay. All right. So we talked about it a little bit before, but my number 1 would be if Jaden Daniels can get on track. That's gonna be a scary team. With Cliff calling the plays, with Dan Quinn calling the exotic defenses, with Terry McLaurin and Dotson. Yeah, they will be pretty good if he can continually to make the throws that he showed and use his feet. They're gonna be pretty scary. And this is partly a question to you, DC, but the Tony Pollard, Tyjae Spears duo, I really like what I saw.
Yep.
It was lightning and lightning. That's gonna stink for fantasy football because you never know who is gonna do what. But it was just big play after big play. I just like that duo more than I thought I would. I thought, Pollard got the start, played 8 snaps. He had 1 third down. Tyjae Spears played 6 snaps. He had 2 third downs. So it looks like Tyjae might be your third down, and then Tony Pollard comes through with the first. If they do wide zone things like that, Pollard's going to get the start on that kind of stuff. But I just liked what I saw from him.
It looked good.
I liked it. It was a really good 1-2 to me. Going to my third is the kickoffs. The kickoffs are either going to be a whole bunch of nothing, or it might be the most dangerous play of the game.
Yeah.
It's either going to be a scrum to the 25, maybe to the 30. But we saw this week they got loose a couple times. There were some alleys, there were some lanes that I was like, all right, we can really get some excitement again. Who was the team? Was it Jacksonville?
Yeah.
Jacksonville
almost ran it back.
Almost ran it back.
Yeah.
Yep. So that I'm glad it's back, but I really want to see when a team puts their all into preparing for the kickoff. Because if you're a team that can't defend the kickoff, man, you're going to be in trouble. Because it's just going to be every week you're going to get abused on every kickoff. And they're going to start doing the freaky stuff like the reverses, the pitches. They're going to start doing.
I knew at some point the reverse is going to come.
Yes.
It is going to come. If they can figure out how to set it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be nice.
And I even think they're going to start down blocking. Like the whole right side is just going to block everybody left. And then
See what happens.
It might be the most creative special teams coach is going to win a couple games for a team. I like my special teams coach, Bones Fossil. Hopefully, it's going to be tough for us this year. He needs to help us get a touchdown or two on special teams because we're not as deep as we were. And number 4 for me, the Texans may be the deepest team in the league. Offensive defense, their defenders are their second string defenders are veteran defensive linemen, like 10 years in the league, 6-7 years in the league. They have waves that not many other teams can say. I don't think they have the best top end talent, but if you block Will Anderson, then Danielle Hunter's on the other side just abusing you. And then they go to their bench, and then they got other. I like how Caserio built the team because he really just collects veterans. Yeah. He collects the not superstars, but the dependable veterans. Even the guy they let go, who went to Minnesota.
Grenard. Was it Grenard?
Grenard.
Mm-hmm.
He was a good veteran. They just thought they could get better than him. And then on their offense, Davis Mills has looked pretty good this preseason. Damian Pierce as a second after Mixon. They got Cam Akers. It's just veterans after veterans after veterans. You got Stephon Diggs, who's to me a number 3. He had some slot plays. Let me see if I can pull him up real quick. But he's the number 3. You can see that CJ looked for Tank. So CJ played 6 snaps. He dropped back 4 times. Nico Collins was on the field all four times. Stephon Diggs was in the slot twice. And Tank Dell was in the slot once. If Stephon Diggs is your slot receiver, that's gonna be crazy. But their offense is deep. Brevin Jordan is your number 2 tight end. A lot of teams don't even know who their number 2 tight end is, and they had Kate Stover, the rookie, added to that. So I think they just have the receiver Xavier Hutchinson. Every time he's on the field as the go-to guy, he makes plays. So they may be the deepest team. Even if you go to the Case Keenum's the 4th quarterback. Tim Boyle, Case Keenum. So it's just veteran after veteran after veteran, which it could get to a point where the juice isn't worth the squeeze on someone, but at least they know what to do. They're not gonna come in lost.
Yeah, but I'm ready to see what it's gonna look like when they cut down to 53 man. Who gonna get cut? Somebody got somewhere. You got to end up losing some good players.
Yeah,
That's gonna be it's a good problem to have.
it's gonna be a feeding frenzy on their running backs and their receivers.
Yes.
Because what's Robert Woods gonna do? If I'm him, I would like to. He was drafted in 2013. I would like to go to another team. Give me a shot. Y'all brought all this talent ahead of me. Mechie, still trying to figure out what he's gonna do. Even Skoronik, the other receiver, he can do some stuff for a team too. So that they're gonna be poached. I can already tell, like, you're gonna see a whole bunch of Texans practice squad players getting picked up, and then Ogunbowale, I can never say his name, but Ogunbowale, thank you. He's decent. J.J. Taylor, Cam Akers, Gerard Jordan. I liked him in college. So yeah, I think they have a case to be the deepest team.
Absolutely.
And my last one will be Trey Lance. He's not worth the squeeze. He's just not. He misses too many plays. He's too erratic, and he requires too many layups for him to be functional. Like his most easiest passes were sticks and slants and flat.
Yep.
Like this is Madden offense. This is, if you want to go down, just throw the stick route. It's always going to be open. Don't worry about it. Don't think about it. Just come back, 1, 2, 3, stick, throw it. When it gets, I would like to see him layer his throws over linebackers, stuff like that. It's just, I don't know if it's worth the squeeze. If he does, let's say Cooper Rush goes down, Dak goes down. How many wins do you think he can legitimately get with a talented team? The Cowboys are not chump. They've got talent. I say 5-6 games maybe. If you give him a full start of the season, no matter how much talent they got.
It's gonna be tough. That's gonna be rough for sure.
Yeah, but that's what I got.
My first one is gonna be Malik Neighbors. He's a beast.
Yes.
They didn't throw him about one time, but he was open every single time, every play they ran.
Yes.
The dude was open, and I don't know if I'm that quarterback. That's got to be the first read anyway.
Every time.
I don't get that. So yeah, he's gonna create some problems this year. Even with a bad quarterback, he's still gonna create some problems one way or the other because the dude can go.
Until he gets pissed off with what's happening in New York. But yeah, keep going.
Yeah, that was my first one. But my second one, Bo Nix. I like what Sean Payton is doing with the kid, man. He's probably the most experienced quarterback out of all these. He played like 61 games.
Yeah.
So he's
All
got
of Auburn, all of Oregon.
yeah. He's got a lot of game time under his belt. So that's another. I'm looking forward to see how Sean Payton work with this guy. And of course, man, Tank Dell.
Yeah.
I'm mid-season form already.
Yeah.
I say this is gonna be a problem.
Yes.
When Stroud hit him and he still broke a couple of tackles, man, I say this is gonna be a problem.
It was too easy.
Yeah. I know it's preseason.
Yeah.
But it's there already. It's gonna be there already.
And it doesn't look like he lost a step
Nope.
coming back from that injury.
No.
So
The only thing I didn't like is they had him returning punts. I don't really care for that. I maybe situational in a big game, you put him back there, but just to be the punt returner, I know what they're thinking. He can break one at any time, but he also,
he's 161 pounds.
there's a different side to that.
Yeah.
So yeah, Tank Dell, they ready. With my Titans, Will Levis.
That's what I wanted to talk to you about.
Levis.
Go ahead.
Him and Calvin really got a little work to do. I mean, they still ain't connecting yet. they ain't on the same page yet. And part of it, I guess, is because the offensive line still ain't where it needs to be. Too much in his face. It is too much. But when he did have time, the timing is still off between him and Ridley. They played at least 2 series, if I'm not mistaken, together.
Mm-hmm.
But it looked like the timing still ain't there yet, and that bothered me a little bit. But my last one has also come from my Titans. T'Vondre Sweat. I was really worried about him. But they say, and from what I see, he's handling his weight pretty well. They say the fact that he can play 5 plays without coming out the game, they said that's a big deal for a guy that big.
Yes.
To play at least 5 plays, and he's been doing it. So I'm glad to see that. So I can't wait to see what it's going to look like when him and Simmons are both getting there together.
Oh, that's a lot.
That's going to be a lot.
That's a lot of beef.
And I need that to take the pressure off our middle linebackers, man, for sure. So that's my 5 right there.
Okay, all right. Also with Will Levis, him and really, yeah, they struggled a little bit, but overall, what did you think of how he played, how he came out, and I still like him.
Yeah. I think he's gonna be all right. Callahan, this season they're gonna be running a whole lot more motion. They never ran motion last year.
That's true.
They be moving these guys around. We'll see what it all looks like when D-Hop gets back. But with Boyd and Ridley, Westbrook, Akini, they've been running a lot of motion, and that's going to help the quarterback out, man. Help read the defense. So I'm looking forward to that once they all bring it together. And, of course, with the running backs, I know he's going to scheme up something,
Yeah.
with those guys in the backfield. So once the offensive line gel and come together and Levis and Ridley put that thing together, it should be a little bit better than last year for sure. No doubt. It got to be.
Yeah, I like your team. I like what I see from your team. Treylon, still developing.
Yep.
When they get Hopkins back, him and Levis connected well last year. You got a lot of speed in the backfield. I just hope Tajay's knees hold up. But I mean, I like your team. Yes, the O-line, like, that's another thing I want to look forward to this coming week. I want to actually, after this, I'm going to go back and look at my rookie left tackle, Guyton, and then look at your tackles. Latham. Yeah, there you go, Latham. See how he's on the right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want to see how he performed, because that's going to be big for both of our teams.
Oh, ain't no doubt.
Because we don't have a Tyron Smith, and the rookie's going to have to. And Chuma Igdoba, who is the number 2, he started camp as number 1 at left tackle. He got hurt. He's so useless that I don't know why they keep putting him out there. Maybe they want to put the rookie, push him slowly, but he got hurt and Guyton have to play anyway, so it don't matter. But I'm gonna go back and see what he really had and how he helped the team, and then see what Latham is all about. You got anything else?
I think that's it. Jay?
I think that's pretty.
I seen that the Patriots let Juju go.
Yeah.
I think that's what the Texans might need to do that with Robert Woods. At least they give him a chance to jump on with another team. Don't wait.
Yeah, let them be a.
If you know he ain't gonna make the team, just go ahead and let him go.
Let them be a package deal somewhere. The last thing I want to talk about, Hard Knocks, Chicago Bears Hard Knocks. The episode was, it was okay. It's just getting a good look into Caleb Williams, and that's a different kind of cat. Like, when you watch it,
one of a kind.
Caleb Williams is a different kind of cat. He's so awkward, and he's just a weird kind of dude. It's not like he's not cool. Like, he's okay. Like, it seems like his teammates like him, but whenever he's on camera, he's just so awkward.
He's never the guy that all the teammates gonna play. Let's go to the club together.
No, never. He reminds me of Russell Wilson in that.
Oh,
he's got some Russell Wilson in him.
Oh man,
and Russ might have been too arrogant because he got famous so quick. He got successful so quick that he got the arrogance and it turned his teammates off. I think Caleb he's got that Russell, but I don't think he's going to be as arrogant. I think he's still going to be like cool with his team. It's just it's a different kind of cat. And the episode was okay. I actually like the Giants offseason better already, but it was cool. I'm gonna keep watching.
Yeah.
So, but that's all I got. We can wrap this up. Thanks y'all for tuning in. Please subscribe. Please follow. Please tell your friends about us. Please give us all the likes. Working hard for you guys. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Thanks for every view. Thanks for every listen. For DC, for Fredo, for Steven, for me. Appreciate it. Football's here. And enjoy it. Yeah, y'all
Later.
peace out.